Hello everybody and welcome to Call Goldbridge on Halloween night. Not a creature was falling. Oh, that's Christmas, isn't it? In fact, you know what? Let's forget all about this. The collar can come down. I'm more Stephen Hendry off to play snooker than I am Dracula. But it is Call Goldbridge. Rival fans, Mark haters, United lovers, whatever you've got to get off your chest. Start Skyping us in a few minutes. Start giving us your thoughts on United. It's your show. We're not getting any likes on these videos. It'll probably be the last one we do. So if you like the concept, like the video and we'll keep doing it. It is your show. We are live. Start getting involved. Let's go over to the main studio though, because I can't be doing with much more of this Halloween nonsense. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Live TV. There we go. Disappeared. Look like a ghost. Bang, there we are. We're into the show. We'll get your live comments up and let's go for it. Happy Halloween, says Louise. Happy Halloween to you too, love. And let me get your live chats up as well. You're part of the show. It is your show. Your live comments are up as well. Schweinsteiger is one I want to talk about very quickly just before we go to the phones, go to the Skype. Back training with the first team. People are trying to play it down. Luke Shaw's come out and said it's great to have him back. He's clearly back with the first team. For me, it is absolutely superb. Really want him back involved. Only last night I said forget about it, it's history. We've been going on and on about it for a long time. I've been getting a lot of Fellaini hate on Twitter from people calling me all sorts of... Apparently somebody wants to end me. I don't know whether that's because it's Halloween or something, ghosts and stuff. But they want to end me because I basically said that I would never, ever, ever interview with Marouane Fellaini because I don't accept that he's a Manchester United player, and I stand by that. I'd love to get rid of him. I would get rid of him tomorrow, but that's my opinion. Schweinsteiger I'm happy about, and I think the thing that makes me laugh the most is that people say, "Oh, you've got to back him because he wears a Manchester United shirt." Fellaini. Well, no, I don't have to back him. If Fellaini wasn't at Manchester United, he couldn't take Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin's, or Carrick's place. It wouldn't be an option. So I don't back him. Get lost. Kwame says Bastion for captain, Fellaini out. Richie says keep doing it. Well, we'll keep doing it if you lot like the video. We'll keep doing it. In fact, a lot of you have. So thanks for that. I think maybe we just we're guilty as individuals, aren't we? We fall into routine, and I think we've not been getting many likes lately, but it does mean a lot to us. But without further ado, all I want from you lot tonight is when you come on, if you do come on, passion. Don't be afraid to rant at me. Don't be afraid to tell me I'm wrong. Don't be afraid if you're a rival fan. We want your opinions. I'm your flute, as I keep saying it. Blow me. Let's go for it. And the thing that's going on the bottom there, we'll talk about that in a moment towards the end of the show. It's a really good new idea we've got. But for the moment, let's start going for it. Let's get onto Skype and let's see who is waiting to come on. If you're boring, I'll cut you off. That's all I can say. Mac G, first up. Here we go.
For the moment, let's
Mac G, you're up on the show. What you got for us, mate?
You good?
I'm good, you?
I'm great, man. I'm busy doing my show. I've been calling you from South Africa. I'm busy doing my radio show at the moment.
Great, okay. South African. That we've had Norway, America, I think we've Australia, Canada. I think we have had South Africa before, but number two, go for it, pal. What you got to say? What do you want to ask or tell us?
Listen, I've been watching your channel for a very long time, for I think about 2 years now. And what I've realized that I think a lot of United fans don't realize is that since Fergie left, right, we haven't had a right, out and out midfielder, winger rather, that puts crosses in. Because if you look at the strikes we've had over the years, what's that guy who went to Monaco? What's his name again? Falcao. Falcao was one of the best strikers. Then when it comes to Man U, he's shit. You know what I mean? And then you get someone like Zlatan, who is a very good striker. We've all seen him. He was very good at PSG. Now he's at Man U. You can't seem to score. And if you look back at all the games, like the Watford games, or all the games when Zlatan has scored, it's always from a cross from Valencia. So when Valencia is not playing, he doesn't get service. He's not getting service. We never service our strikers, which is another reason why Rooney is also shit. And we haven't had a good winger since Nani left. Di Maria tried, but he didn't settle in and he didn't last very long. But all the wingers we have now are actually strikers. If you look at Rashford, he doesn't cross the ball. He wants to cut in. Martial as well. Lingard is not really good as a winger. So I think if you can sort out the wingers,
who would you go for then? If I said to you, you can have any winger at Manchester United, who would you go for? Considering Gareth Bale, is he even a winger anymore? He's just signed a new contract. So there's probably not that many out there, is there? I mean, Griezmann's not a winger.
I like Drexler. I like Marcus. He'd be great. But someone whose job is just to put the ball in the box.
Yeah.
Like Valencia. Valencia has so many opportunities where you could shoot, but he never shoots. He could be one-on-one with the keeper, but he'd rather cross the ball. That's what we need. We need someone who's just going to put the ball in the box. And I think all of our problems would be much easier. Because if you look at our midfield is superb. I mean, if you have in midfield a three of Carrick, Pogba, and Herrera, that's a winning title midfield. You know what I mean? But we just don't have any wingers.
Okay. Good points from Mac G from South Africa. Thanks for calling in, pal. First one of the night. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, listen to my show at 947.
Okay. We'll do. Don't know what he was saying. Let's go to... Right, I'm going to go to Sander. Hopefully you can hear me. Sander, can you hear me?
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Sander. I know you like to get... I like what you've got to say. As I was saying to you before, you like to talk. That's fine. But we want to try and get through as many as possible. I'm not being rude. We have spoken about this before. But what you got to say... Oh, look at the hair. Right, this isn't some sort of Fellaini loving we've got here. But
no.
Go on.
All right. Basically, I've got two things I want to say. Firstly, it's a very minor thing, but I don't know if this annoys you, but it really annoys me when after a loss or a poor performance, the players get straight onto Instagram or Facebook or something like that, saying how they want to, improve and, there'll be better days to come. To be honest, I don't care. I do not care what you're putting on Instagram. Get on the pitch, get on the training ground and work for it, and then show us that the better days will come. I don't want to know about it on Instagram and stuff like that. I know it's only a minor thing, but it really winds me up because, I'm seeing all these things. Oh, there's better days to come. I really want to get back in the team. If you want to get back in the team, work hard to get back in the team and show us on the pitch instead of meshing about it on Instagram. But that's not what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you, do you think we'll get top four? And if not, should we start thinking about going for the Europa League? And do we take that risk?
I've just been messing around when he was talking then, just so everyone could see his hair, because you couldn't see that at the start. I definitely think he's a Fellaini fan, which has put him on the back foot already. I do agree about the Instagram stuff. I mean, Timothy Fosu-Mensah even said sorry. I mean, I don't know. I love Fosu-Mensah, but what are you saying sorry for? You weren't even on the bench. Why are you saying sorry? It didn't mean anything. I'm not getting at Fosu-Mensah for that, but I agree with what you say there. Multi-million-pound players saying they're sorry to the fans. I think some of them mean it. I think some of them, some as we know from that, what's his name, the Sunderland player. I don't know whether you saw it. I forget what his name was. Many of these counts aren't run by the players either. Just a wake-up call to everybody there. But there was a Sunderland player. I think it was an Ichibi. He'd sent a tweet to he'd sent a message to his social media team, and it was something like, and it literally was. It said, say something like, tough result today, we fought really hard. Well, his social media team forgot to take out say something like and tweeted the whole thing. So, a lot of these accounts aren't run by the players. Some of them are. I think Rooney's was taken over for a long time. That was the rumour. But you know what, so what. But very, very quickly, because I've got to whiz through. Europa League may become... I hate the Europa League. I've got to be consistent. It may become important to us. I think we've pretty much got to stay unbeaten till Christmas and win a lot of those games. That would be my answer. What would yours be, Sander, very quickly?
I think our second team, our kind of fringe player team, is strong enough to win the Europa League. And I think, there aren't many great teams, and not many great teams look like they're going to drop out of the Champions League. So I think our fringe player team would be able to do it. But I think we should need to start concentrating on it a little bit with the amount of teams, with the amount of space we're dropping behind the top four, and with the amount of good teams in the Premier League. So yeah, that's what I do. Okay, brilliant call from Sander. He will be on again probably for a watch along very soon. But thanks for coming on, and thanks for staying under 5 minutes. I'll speak to you soon, pal. Ciao. Cheers. Somebody just said D Ghost made a good point. It's like hitting someone in your car and saying sorry when they come out and say afterwards. Let's take another call. I mean, what I want from you, just very quickly, I don't care if you support... I'd love a Liverpool or Arsenal fan to come on. I don't bite. I'm trying to be Dracula. I'm more Stephen Hendry. I'm not going to bite. What I want is, I don't care if you come and tell me off, whatever. I just want people to come on, be passionate, and say what's on their chest. Because I tell you what, I know there are a lot of you out there who aren't happy. So don't come on and act all cool. Go for it. But there's somebody there who's getting lost
Lost in what I want to go for. Let's try Matt Maunder. Matt, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm good. Oh, sorry. Hi, Matt. How are you? I'm jumping
good,
ahead of the
you.
conversation there. I'm good. Go for it, Matt. Go for it, Matt.
I just wanted to make a point. Yeah, I'm a Plymouth fan.
Good.
And
Someone's got to be.
If you were to ask me who I'd rather have in the Plymouth starting lineup, Marouane Fellaini or Jan Songo, I'd pick Jan Songo any day of the week.
Who's Jan Songo?
He's an Argyle midfielder. I completely agree with you on Fellaini. Any United fan who comes on here and defends him is an idiot.
I think what they're trying to do, Matt, and I'd ask you this sorry to interrupt, as a Plymouth fan. I've been doing the United stand for well over 2 years, and I got a lot of stick at the start because I said 2.5 years ago I can't stand Fellaini. Same as things I'm saying now, and more people jumped on my back than they do now because 2.5 years down the line, a lot of people have realised he's no good. But I think some people get stuck in this, I don't know, sentiment that he's in a United shirt, you've got to back him, which I agree with to a point. However, as a Plymouth fan, if you've got a midfielder who's playing in your midfield and you know you've got two other players who don't get picked, yes, it's the manager's fault for picking Fellaini, but we've got Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin and Carrick who any day of the week are better than Fellaini. For some reason, our managers keep picking Fellaini, but us as fans know he's no good. All I'm saying is I don't want him anywhere near our club anymore because then he can't be picked. But I agree with you. I don't know how good Sango is. I'm ignorant of where Plymouth are in the league. Are you in the bottom league now?
Yeah, we're doing really well in the league. We're unbeaten in 13. We've won 11 of those games and lost 2. Top of the league. But my question I wanted to ask was, what can Mourinho do to get the passion back into the players? Because we got players like Rooney and Fellaini who are just showing no passion. Obviously, he's just playing for their wages. And what can he do?
I think it's a great question. I'll ask you very quickly what you think, but personally, I just think it comes down to it being a transitional process. I know people are getting on Zlatan's back. I'd stick with Zlatan. He's a new player. He's a world-class player, and I think he's not playing very well at the moment. But stick with him because I think going back to Rooney, you're just going to go back to the same problems, and it's circular. It becomes a circle and we don't get anywhere. And it's the same with Fellaini. It's 3 years, and what he'll probably do is score the winner against Swansea. Everyone will be tweeting me again saying and then the next game we'll lose 4-0 because he'll get run over, unfortunately not in real life, but run over in a midfield sense because he's not good enough. But what would you do? What do you think Mourinho's got to do? I think it's just a time.
I just think that Mourinho, he's obviously known for being quite a harsh manager. Like at Chelsea and Madrid, if a player wasn't performing, he'd drop them. And I just think playing the youth players like Rashford and Fosu Mensah who have come through the hard way in the academy, they're obviously going to show more passion and they're going to fight for it more than someone like Fellaini who's come from Everton as a panic buy. You know what I mean? Yeah,
stick with the youth. Good point. Well, Matt, thanks very much for coming on. First non-United fan, which is great, and really good points as well. Hope to have you on again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Mark.
Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much. Very good call there. In fact, I must just read out. We had nobody's having a go at me, so I've got to read this one out because there's lots of people who have a go at me on Twitter or the United Stand. So just before I take another one, I'm just gonna read this out. It says, "Goldbridge, you shit. You're full of it, you arrogant shit." They like saying that word, don't they? And might get the lad from South Africa on. He likes that word as well. Anyway, stop picking on Fellaini. He's all heart. Stop picking on Rooney. He's a club legend. And if you don't stop it, I'm going to get the pictures out the loft of you in your Forest kit when you're a young lad. Cheers. Thanks. All the best. Your mum. I was only joking. I made that up. No one ever said it. But if that sort of thing might be good if you want to come on. Draughty Devil's on the live comments apparently. Well, there you go. I'm sure he's got some fantastic insight. I did ask him to come on the show, but I don't know. You didn't say anything. I'm not going to say anything more. Right, let's take a phone call, a Skype call. Luke, hopefully. Is this Luke? I don't know what I'm clicking at the moment, but hopefully it's Luke. Hello, Luke. This is Luke. I can't hear you, Luke. 1 second.
Hello?
I got you now, yeah. How you doing, pal?
I wanted to say that how I couldn't believe the match that we experienced
Okay, it's very broken up, but try and give us your question. I'll do my best.
What's going on with the match at Man United?
What's going on at the moment with Man United?
No, I mean the finishing. How left was it in? How unleft was it in?
I'm not getting anything there. I'll try you again in a bit, Luke. It's really, really breaking up. Sorry about that. Well, Luke's gone anyway. Let's try Bob. Bob Smith. I know it's not Bob. If this is the person I think it is, it's not Bob. It's not Bob. Remind me of your name. It's not Bob. But I think he's a Toronto caller. Oh, there's two. What's going on? We don't want anything sinister here, but there's two people. Bob, can you hear me? We've got problems with audios today, I think. I can hear you. I can't hear you. Hello? Yeah. No, can't hear you, Bob. We'll come back to you in a bit. Snooze you lose, a bit like Arsenal. Right, Salim's been phoning for ages. Let's try Salim. Salim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mark.
Good, I can just about hear you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from England.
England, okay. What's your question?
My question is, I think United needs to change the formation.
Change the formation.
Yeah.
What would you change it to?
4-4-2.
4-4-2. So 4-4-2. Who would you have as your front two?
What did you say?
Who would be your forwards in a 4-4-2? Who would be up front?
Rashford and Ibra.
Okay, and who would you be in midfield to? Your centre midfielders?
I put in there like Michael Carrick or Paul Pogba.
Carrick and Pogba. And then who would be either side of them on the wings?
It'll be basically I'll sell some wingers and buy some new ones like.
Sell some wingers and buy some new ones. You got anybody in mind?
Yeah, I have a quick. I don't know. I think it's once called. I don't know. I forgot.
Okay. I tell you what, as long as it's not Joey Barton, we can all live in peace. But thanks very much for calling, pal. It's a bit of a bad audio, but I could hear you, so thanks for calling. I knew you were trying for a while. Cheers, Salim. Let's take some of your live comments for a minute. We've got audio problems. It was a bit windy, Paul, and might as well go 35, says Jeremy James. Don't want to. Might find Guy Fap. Oh God, Hurricane Katrina, says Safwan. We haven't got the players to play 4-4-2, says Simon. Right, I think we definitely haven't if Salim's in charge because he can't remember who he wants to sign. So there we go. Can't play 4-4-2 without energetic players. We can't play it right now. Trial. There was a very good point from before, I think, that we haven't got. We've got people who are playing on the wings who really are forwards, aren't they? Anthony Martial. There we go. Don't worry about your audios or anything like that. It's live. I can deal with it. It's fine. And that's fine. Samir, I am enjoying it. Don't worry. I am enjoying this. So let's try Michael. Let's see what he's got to say. Hello, Michael. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Oh, there he is. Good audio as well. Okay, Michael, where are you calling from and what's your question, please?
I'm calling from Ireland, from Ballina-Killaloe. My son insisted that I call in this evening because he does not understand why... he's 14, by the way. He's a massive United fan like me, but he does not understand why Ibrahimovic is playing up front. He's 35. He's very, very slow. He's got no pace. And his question for me is, Dad, why are we not playing Rashford?
So yeah, well, I mean, I've got. It's a good point. It's a good point. Zlatan's very hard to defend at the moment because, like you said, he's missed a lot of chances as well as being 35. I think there's a good case to play Rashford up front because it would give us something that we don't have with Zlatan, which is hitting the flanks, hitting the ball over the top every now and again, and stretching the opposition defence. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. What I would say is I don't think Mourinho is going to drop Zlatan for the reasons I said last night. One, it's his signing. Two, I think Zlatan, for whether it's right or wrong, falls into that undroppable thing. And three, I think behind the scenes, Zlatan is very symbolic of what the new Manchester United Mourinho is trying to build. And I think in the dressing room, Zlatan is a big ally against the old parties of Rooney. So that's why I wouldn't drop him, because I'm looking I think Zlatan will come through this, but also I think it's important that Mourinho stamps his authority on the team, and I think Rashford probably will be a player in the next few months who comes through. But I would stick with Zlatan, but that's my personal opinion. I do think it's a good point.
Should we be selling Rooney in January? Both me and my son think he's done. He's got 16 years. He's got a 14 years Premier League mileage in him. The body can only take so much. To me, he's got nothing to offer us other than, I think we get emotional. We think he's a legend. I mean, Roy Keane's also a legend, but we're not asking him to play centre mid. So to me, Rooney needs to be offloaded in January. He's on 300 grand a week, and he offers us nothing. I think I'm not sure where I sit on the Schweinsteiger argument, because I think given the choice between Schweinsteiger or Fellaini, then it has to be Schweinsteiger all day long. And when I see Schweinsteiger not even in the squad, and I see, with all due respect, Chris Smalling, who has to be one of the worst centre defenders we've ever had, he constantly plays with this look on his face that says, "Oh shit, I thought you had it covered." And any good central defender will, if necessary, kick the ball into the stand, and then they'll have the discussion. Chris Smalling just seems to be constantly indecisive, not able to make a decision. And I think Bastian Schweinsteiger certainly could be a good influence on the team in terms of his leadership experience. But when we're putting Chris Smalling in, that says an awful lot. That says a huge amount when you consider the captains we've had over the years.
No, very good points, Michael. I'm going to whiz on to get somebody else on there, but really good points, whether it's come from you or...
Love the show.
Thank you, Michael. Cheers. Really good points there. And I think he was spot on about Smalling very quickly. I mean, I've mentioned Schweinsteiger. I think I agree. Rooney, I'm not going to go on about. I think he needs to go. And but the Smalling point was very good. I would play Smalling and Blind because I think it worked last year. But I'd be amazed. And I think Michael made a very good point there. Smalling basically lost us that Chelsea game, and I wonder if he's crossed Jose for the last time, because the first 30 seconds and our whole structure, our whole plan, probably for a whole week, just went out the window because of that indecisiveness from Smalling, because he just didn't think, I'm going to blast this into the Stamford Bridge, So there we go. Shaka Phillips, would you play Bastian in the Europa League and play Carrick in the league? We can't play Bastian in the Europa League because he wasn't selected. Let's have a look. Nobody's come on and had a proper go at me yet, so I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm just having a quick look at who to get on next. Let's try James Riley Hards. James Riley, can you hear me? Come on down.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Just about. You might need to talk up a little bit, but go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, I think we should drop Rashford.
Ooh.
Simply because, if you think about it, you play Zlatan for 70 odd minutes, and you're 0-0 in a tight game. If you bring Rashford on, he offers that pace. You remember in the Galatasaray pre-season game, when he came on for the second half for Zlatan, Rooney, who's playing in midfield, was able to knock the balls in long. So with Rashford, if they're playing a high line, Rashford can stand on that back line and simply just knock high balls into him. So Rashford, with his pace, can get onto them, and as we know, with his finishing, it's very clinical. So if you drop Rashford for a bit, give him not as much pressure by starting week in, week out, then he can be that explosive force we need.
I think, James, I was a bit concerned when you said it at first, but actually you've redeemed yourself. Well done. I think it's a very good point. Carrick fan says he could barely hear you. Basically what he's saying is, I think we need to drop Rashford so that he's an impact sub at the end of the game. I said it about 2 weeks ago. I don't think we can do it at the moment because we've got so many injuries, but your bench is very important, and I think this is where we've gone wrong against Stoke and against Burnley. We've been fantastic up until the 70 minutes mark, and then we've had to bring on poor substitutions like Rooney and Fellaini and people like that, because you look at our bench and it's not that good. So ideally, it would be nice to be able to give Rashford a break. He's only just turned 19, and I think off the bench he's brilliant, like he was against Hull. But we need the likes of Martial and Mkhitaryan to be involved back again, so that we can have a good bench. But very good point, James. Where were you calling from?
London.
London. Okay, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on the show, James, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
Cheers.
Cheers, James. Thank you. Seemed a bit disappointed at the end, didn't he? Like I'd cut him off too soon. Lost a bit like Jack Wilshere's career, isn't it? Let's have a look. Who else? Luke. I've seen him calling a few times. Luke, can you hear me?
Okay, Mark. Do I sound normal now?
Yes, you sound perfect now, Luke. I had concerns about you before. I didn't know whether you were like calling from Mars or something. But
it was the most embarrassing thing, but I'm glad I made you all laugh. What I wanted to say was it's like
Luke, I'm just going to interrupt you very quickly because I think we might have a Man City fan who's calling. I'm not going to cut you off. I'm just going to say to that City fan, keep calling. We will get you on. But Luke's on at the moment. Go, Luke.
I just wanted to say like it's like something's cursed Man United at the moment. Because
Fellaini.
the chances that have been missed, if you could pick anyone in the world to choose them, it would be like Ibrahimovic, Aguero, Costa, someone like that, and they've been missed. So just the game against Burnley reminded me of that game against Blackburn when Berbatov scored 5.
Yes.
In like 2000, it reminded me of that, but instead of Berbatov it was Ibra, but just something wasn't going right. And about Fellaini, if you have one bad player in a team, it won't really mess it up because if you've got a good flow going, then it will be okay. But I'm just saying, you can't really you got to give Mourinho time, which I know you are. But if there's people out there that actually aren't, then I'd say then it's quite foolish. So just what do you think of that?
No, I do. I mean, Mourinho, definitely give him time. I think Fellaini is crap, and I think
it's just if you have one bad player, it can't really affect the team unless it was like Rooney passing it to them. So
I think the thing about Fellaini, I have to give the other side about this, and I would say that it's not his fault he gets picked. But me and the Geordie Devil actually were messaging each other earlier, saying, "What is it in Fellaini's hair that is causing him to have to get picked?" Has he got a gang of scousers in there?
If it's anything, it's definitely the physical element.
Yeah.
Of it that it goes with Mourinho, but I just think because if you look at the Barcelona side of 2011, Maxwell wasn't really the best, so it's just but obviously it would be nice to have someone there, but he could just get carried. But I'm just saying, apart from the Chelsea game, there seems to be something really, really some sort of black magic, probably the thing that cursed my call.
Yeah. Well, the Stoke and Burnley games, we should have absolutely. I think that's why everyone's so frustrated, just, really.
When I see you angry, it's like after the game, it's like I don't see why, because eventually it will come around. It's just, and then I watched at school today. I was watching the highlights of our game, and then me and my friends were like,
school.
"What's going on?" Yeah. I'm 16 this year, 12, but and then I watched the Liverpool game, and then I saw some unlucky deflection, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just
I agree with everything that you said there, Luke. And
but eventually it will come around. I think Mourinho's got the right thing going. I can't really say. I mean, we do need a new right back, but it doesn't really, and maybe a centre back. But if you've got the flow going in the attack, then it will be all right. And I think Zlatan should definitely be dropped now for what he's. It's just I don't know. It might not be him.
Zlatan will come good. I've got to get off, Luke. I've not got to get off. I've got to get on to another caller. But thanks that we got you in the end, and really good points. Thanks for calling, and we'll get you on again. If it was Luke, it could have been Kevin De Bruyne. My bloody City fans gone missing now. So we'll I'll have a look at some of your comments. We want the City fan, Mark, says Luis. He's here. Let's get him. I bet it's a ploy. To get me to click.
Hi, Mark.
Hello. Oh, look at that. Skype stopped working. Close program. That's because it's a City fan. I've got this antivirus. Any City fan just shut down. But we'll get him back. Don't worry. As long as the stream hasn't shut down, which it hasn't. That's good. Okay. Let me get that going. Hopefully he will call back. Or I could have called him back. That would have been a good idea. Soph's gone. I've got him. Let's try him again. Solomon,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a genuine City fan?
Yeah.
Good. In a bad way. Go on then.
If Mourinho got sacked, who would you replace? Yeah. If Mourinho got sacked, what manager would you get?
Bit of conferring about the question there, but they've gone with that one. I'm not even thinking about it. I know at City you probably do think about it all the time, but I'm not thinking about it. I do like Carlo Ancelotti. I will honestly answer the question. I do like Carlo Ancelotti, but I'm not thinking about Mourinho getting sacked personally, because no matter what happens, I don't want him to go this season or next season. I think he's got a massively hard job on at United, but.
Wait, if he got sacked, I would get the Atlético Madrid manager. I think he's pretty good.
Simeone. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is about United is, as much as we've not been scoring goals at the moment, I said it today, the Leicester, Stoke and Burnley games especially are the best 3 games we've had at Old Trafford in probably 3 or 4 years. So we are playing good football. We just need to get the results. But as a City fan, are you happy with Pep? Are you happy with Pep?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is about United is good. I'm glad to hear it. Thanks for coming on, Solomon.
Listen.
Thanks for coming on.
Do you think Zlatan's 10 years late to the Premier League?
Well, yeah, he is. Obviously, I mean, he's 35. I'd rather have a 25 Zlatan, but I do think he'll prove people wrong.
And I'm a United fan.
You're a United fan?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I feel like pour some hot gravy on me and put some potatoes on, because you've roasted me on that one, haven't you? But it's a clever little ploy, and I'm always there to applaud it. But thanks for coming on, Sullivan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, you've got to applaud. You've got to applaud people who are, thinking outside the box like that. So well done. It got you on.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. How are you, Mark?
I'm very good, thanks. Are we talking? I hate to say this, but is it Sophie? Is that short for something? Or?
Yeah, it's my name. It's Sophie.
Okay.
Well, my name is Sophia, but it's short for yeah.
And where are you calling from?
I'm from America.
Cool. Okay. Any part in particular?
New England.
And that's near? Is it near Washington or something like that?
No, it's like New York.
I'm not going to carry on. I'm obviously crap at geography, but go on then, Sophia. What's your question, or what do you want to say?
I find it extremely frustrating that people don't appreciate Juan Mata, as much as they should. Because watching last night's game, not last night, but Saturday's game, sure, he missed opportunities, but he created so many opportunities, and it pissed me off so much when he got subbed out of the game. Like, I was so angry about that.
No, you're right, yeah. Carry on if you've got more.
I know. It's like we've been saying, like, with Fellaini. Fellaini and Rooney, and we haven't given Mata the opportunity to play central, and he's proved himself already. And I don't understand why we can't just play him to the end of games. It's frustrating because he creates opportunities. You saw the touch he took to get us the penalty against I can't think of their name right now, Robin Van Persie's team. You saw the touch he took. Yeah, you saw the touch he took against that team. And I don't get why people don't see and appreciate him as much. And we've been talking about Herrera a lot, but I feel like we need to appreciate what Juan Mata does for Manchester United.
I think it's a really good point. I'll be honest and say that in the summer I wasn't sure about Mata, and he was given a few opportunities as a number 10 under Van Gaal and Moyes, although limited, and he never really took it. However, being given the opportunity in this side where we actually are playing attacking football, it's a breath of fresh air. He's playing superb. I feel really sorry for Herrera, Pogba and Mata, especially in the Stoke and Burnley game, because we've not scored goals because the forwards haven't taken the chances, but them three have been fantastic. But I agree with you, and I said this last night, there is a constant substitution around 70 minutes. It's a sympathy sub. It's always Mata coming off, and it's always Rooney coming on. I thought the substitution Rooney and Fellaini made me feel physically sick anyway. But
I was so mad. I physically threw things. It was not pretty. It was just I support Mourinho, and I agree with what you said the other day that we need to back him, but when he makes substitutions like that, it frustrates me, and I feel like it's, you know what I mean? Something needs to be done.
I agree with you. Thanks very much, Sophia. Brilliant call. And apparently there's loads of people now talking about geography, which is always great on the United Stand. We love to educate people, so that's great. Because it's a female, lots of people are asking for a face. You're always gonna get that happen with football fans.
Sorry,
but
I don't have a cam on this laptop.
it's the voice that's more important, and you made a very, very good point, and we'd like to have you on again. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Refreshing. Draughty Devil, I've seen you calling. If you want to start calling now, I will put you on. Well done, Mum. Great point, says MA744. She sounds passionate, says Bevis Coke, about football. And I think Jose only bought Schweinsteiger to make us all stop talking about him, says MUFC Forever. I hope so. I hope that's the case, but you never know. I have clicked Draughty Devil there, but I don't know what's gone wrong. Oh yeah, it's here. Okay. Hello.
How's it going?
It is the Draughty Devil. It's like Halloween perfection to get a devil on the show, but a blast from the not too recent past. How are you doing, pal? And blow my flute.
I don't want to blow you right now. That might put everyone off the show, and we don't really want to do that. So no, I'll pass. But thanks.
Okay, and have you got anything you want to say? Where have you been for the last few months? Out of Mongolia, finding yourself, finding somebody else?
Well, I mean, there's a number of things that's been going on. I mean, I've been actually helping Fellaini with his elocution lessons. Wayne Rooney, I'm actually his personal stylist now, and I help him out with his hair and everything. So it's going well for me. Going back into the undergrowth, not really doing much, but yeah.
I was saying to everybody about the chat we were having earlier about what might be the reason why Fellaini continues to get picked, and we had this theory that it was what is in Fellaini's hair, and feel free to join in on the live comments here. I mean, Luke didn't want to. I don't know, he was getting very serious about it, but we were trying to have a bit of a laugh. As I said, I think there might be a couple of Scousers in there sabotaging him. I'm trying to think of some of the other things we said. What might be in Fellaini's hair causing this problem? Maybe a stick of dynamite that if you drop him, it blows the whole place up. Although that's probably a bit politically incorrect, isn't it? In the current climate, you can't say much stuff like that. But yeah. And do you want to dig me out of this hole, Draughty, or should I just carry on digging it?
Oh, I mean, you can keep trying to find out what is in his hair. I mean, it might be Steven Gerrard hiding in there somewhere. I mean, come on. I mean, Fellaini, where can you start with him? Although, to be fair, a lot of people are starting to stick up with him. People asking questions today. I'm not mentioning who, but I think you get what I'm on about. But I don't know. Are you not frustrated by this season so far? I mean, for me, I'm just a bit like, I know Jose's the best manager in the world, but United so far just haven't clicked. And I love Zlatan, and Zlatan isn't doing anything. Is that 42 shots now he's missed in a row? The most in the Premier League this season by anyone?
Yeah.
I mean, where do you stand on Zlatan? Where is it you stand on Zlatan right now? Do you think he's a striker for the next season, or two, or do you think actually the Premier League is a step too far?
I think that I've been so damning of Rooney and Fellaini this season that I have to be fair on the player that I was ecstatic that we signed, and I wouldn't drop him and I would stick by him because I think he is symbolic of what Mourinho is trying to build, and we can't just we certainly can't go back to Rooney, so I would stick with him. I just think at the moment there's a lot of frustration. I don't know whether you agree with this. There's a lot of frustration around Manchester United because we're angry that we're 7-8 points off the top. But the reality is, we should have another. It's not. Everybody says this. Arsenal fans say it every season. But we should have another 4 points. Only an idiot would say we didn't deserve to beat Stoke and Burnley. And any other day, I mean, that's why it's frustrating. Really, I think we are very, very, very close. As I said, I think Pogba, Herrera, and Mata have been absolutely amazing. And if we'd scored these chances, then Pogba would probably be top assister, and everyone would be going, Mata, Pogba, Herrera, it's the best midfield in Europe.
Yeah, but versus Stoke and Burnley, you got to say both keepers had an absolute blinder, and you cannot legislate for that. I mean, if you're saying that's 4 points dropped there, another 4 points added on, then yeah, we're up there, sort of near abouts. But, you know, I mean, there's only 1 point separating 2 points separating the top 4 teams. When has that happened after 10 games? I genuinely can't remember a season that started off this close. The top 3 are all joint on results. It's only 4 goals in goal difference. Genuinely, I don't remember a season like this. And after the weirdness of last season and Leicester, it's changed again. I don't think the Premier League's, for the last 2 seasons, certainly has formed a pattern. I think now you're starting to see other teams come to the fore and perform. I don't know. I just think United at the moment, we're in a bit of a funk. Jose has got a massive rebuild, you know, and the team isn't that strong. I'm sorry. I mean, our defence is piss poor.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I think the squad's... I think you've got to respect what he's done. He's given everybody a chance. But if he'd phoned us up, and I don't mean me or you, I mean the general United stand viewers, in the summer, we'd have given him 5 names that he's kept that he should have got rid of. That's not necessarily his fault. He doesn't watch Manchester United every week like we do for the last 3 years. But without a shadow of a doubt, Rojo should have gone, Jones should have gone, Fellaini should have gone, and probably, you know, as much as I don't like to say it, Darmian, maybe even Memphis, maybe even Schneiderlin, but certainly the first 3 or 4 should have just gone, maybe even Rooney, but he's kept everybody, and I think now that's causing him a problem because he didn't...
What about Chris Smalling?
Yeah, well, I do like Smalling, but as I said on that previous phone call, I just think he I nearly swore, he did, you know, you spend all week tactically doing something, and then the first 30 seconds, he you know, Mourinho could have just walked out of Stamford Bridge and gone, you know, you've just... I mean, it was shocking what he did on that day, and whether he'll ever get another chance, I don't know, because let's not forget, he did it 18 months ago at the Etihad, didn't he? So he'll buy a centre-back, won't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to assume, especially with Bailey. I mean, if Bailey goes out of the team for the African Cup of Nations, you're down to a flat back 4 comprised of Chris Smalling, Daley Blind, Luke Shaw, and Darmian. Luke Shaw's going to come into the 4, but he's not actually performing so far. Chris Smalling isn't that consistent. Daley Blind is underrated, but I still think he's more defensive midfielder than he is an actual centre back. And Darmian, again, or Valencia. Valencia has been fantastic, though. For a guy who was actually an attacking winger at the start of his career to go back to right back, he's been pretty impressive with some of his tackling. But we need a specialist right back, and I wish we'd got Fabinho at the start of the season.
I'd like to get Matuidi as well.
Well, and also with the defensive midfielders, because you know we were playing basically 6 under LBG. With Schweinsteiger out of the picture, Schneiderlin not getting a look in, Carrick not really playing, you got to say the defensive balance of the side from last season is completely different, and we just don't have that core at the back. There's a very, very weak spine at United at the moment. You know, if you start at the top, you got Ibrahimovic, who was a spearhead for any side, who was not firing, but when you got Pogba behind him, Pogba plays better with more creative players around him like Pirlo, but he hasn't got that at the moment. Memphis was supposed to be this amazing winger on the wings, you know. He's not doing it. Is he ever going to get a chance? And you got to question, really, how many of those players are going to be there this time next year. I would imagine there's going to be a big cull.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks for coming on. Really nice to have you back on again, and I hope you're well, and we'll speak to you soon. The Draughty Devils on Twitter. Some very funny stuff on there. Yeah.
No, there's not. There's nothing funny on there at all.
There is some very... I find it
there's nothing funny. Yeah. No, seriously, I'm not funny. Don't follow me. It's fine.
Follow him. Okay, thanks for coming on, pal.
Later.
Cheers. Let's have a look. Jordan Hopkins is on about Fellaini being interviewed today. What do you think of that, Mark? Got nothing against whoever's interviewed him, and you know who's done it, so I don't. But I'm not going down that road. My issue with that is that when 90% of Manchester United fans have criticised Marouane Fellaini, to go and do an interview with him and make people feel sorry for him again, personally frustrated me. Not because they've got an interview, I wouldn't interview him, but what will happen is he'll do an interview, everyone will go, oh, he's really nice, I feel sorry for him, and then he gets another chance. And I just don't. He's had enough chances for me. I don't want people feeling sorry for him. I want him gone, and that's the only thing I would say about that. Let's have a look if we can just take a call. Overhit there. Oh God. Let's try you. Shane, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mark. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. You're a bit muffled, but shout out and tell us what you want.
Well, I think that the Swansea game on Sunday is a must-win now.
Are they winning at the moment?
What?
Are Swansea playing at the moment? Do you know what the score is?
I don't know.
Okay, somebody will tell us. Go on. Yeah, Swansea on the weekend must win. Yeah.
So I was wondering, do you think that Swansea game is a must-win now, and do you think that Man United should play a second fringe team for the game against Fenerbahce on Thursday?
I tell you what, it's a good question. I will answer it so you can think about what yours is. It's difficult because I was saying this to Alex last night. I'm not a massive fan of the Europa League, but we can't afford to lose any more games because when I think the league's gone, but when you say the league's gone, well, that's only 1 point off fourth, so you're basically saying fourth's gone, so it can't really be gone. But we can't afford to lose any more games or draw really, not between now and Christmas. If we played a reserve team in Fenerbahce and lose, I think it's quite close between us, Fenerbahce and Feyenoord. So we pretty much need a result in Fenerbahce because if we mess up the league any more than we have already, Europa League's our last chance, and I think it's a very slim chance. So I think you've got to balance it. I think Herrera's got to play on Thursday because he can't play on Sunday. But 100%, I mean, I said it before Burnley. I think Burnley was a must-win and we didn't win it. So what does Swansea become? We have to win that game. I'm not confident that we will. I've got a funny feeling that we've got a lot of bad injuries. Valencia, Herrera obviously suspended, Bailly out. We don't know what the situation is with Martial. Mkhitaryan obviously has never been involved at all. If he plays Fellaini, then it's just a recipe for disaster. But I don't know what your thoughts are on the two. I mean, if you were offered, this is a very good question. I'm sorry for throwing it at you, but if God or Allah or whoever you believe in came down to you tonight and said you've got a choice, you can either win against Fenerbahce or you can win against Swansea, which would you take?
Well, I think the league is gone for us now, so I would say Fenerbahce. But I would always take a Premier League win, but I think the league is out of our reach by now. I'd say the Europa League is our last chance. I would take the Fenerbahce game.
Okay, good question, Shane. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers.
Cheers, pal. Very good question. It was a bit muffled at the end, but he did say Fenerbahce. But that's fan opinion for you. Everybody has a different opinion. And I tell you what, I'm going to say, honestly now, I've enjoyed this show fantastically this evening. I think it's been really, really good. And I think for those who've not got on, you will get on in the future. Do keep trying. But I've really enjoyed it. Potentially it was going to be the last Skype Goldbridge. But if you want it to carry on, please do drop a like on the video because we will be led by that. This is your show. I'm more than happy to present it. But you've got to come on and take the opportunities like you have done tonight. I'm not going to ignore this fella. Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm very well, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Paul Gardner, the not just the website owner, runner, whatever. Also our podcast man. Who I think have you already done the podcast for tonight, or are you about to do it?
No, just finished recording actually. What's the audio like here? You can hear me all right, yeah?
Oh, I'll tell you what. It's smoother than Stevie Wonder doing a duet with Whitney Houston. Oh no, she's gone. That's Halloween.
Moving swiftly on.
could happen on Halloween, but it's not. Dante Gerard saying it was a great show. It's not over yet. The viewing figures are dropping just because I said it's been a great show. Get them back up again. Where are you off to? Don't go and watch Stoke Swansea. But the velvet tones of Paul Gardner podcast is actually going to be put up on the website this week. We're not on the YouTube channel. We're not going to do it every week, but really want to start promoting the podcast because it is fantastic, and I listen to it every week, even though I don't get asked on. But Paul, what's your question?
I'll be honest with you, Mark. I've literally just turned on YouTube and seen you're on here, so I thought I'd give you a quick ring.
Fair enough.
What are we talking about at the moment? I can see Schweinsteiger, Mourinho, and more in the topic.
Well. Cool Goldbridge concept is you call in and chuck a question or give us an opinion, and then I kick you off after about a minute. So
My time's running out then. Okay, let's go with the Schweinsteiger thing. Seeing all the reports today that he's back in training with the first team, everyone's getting excited. We're going to see Schweinsteiger back in the team. And then we were all sort of kicked in the teeth a little bit when MEN came out saying, no, he's just getting fit to be sold in January. What do you make of that?
I'll tell you what, I think Manchester Evening News, I might be wrong about this, they're either owned by The Sun or The Mirror, but the answer, the conclusion is the same. They're both unreliable, and I don't really listen to them other than the fact it's Manchester Evening News, so that they're the closest paper to Manchester United. But I wouldn't believe anything they say, to be honest. In fact, I think it was the Mirror or the Sun or both this morning who said that Schweinsteiger had been banned from playing for the reserves. Warren Joyce had asked him to play, but Mourinho had said no. And then 3 hours later, he's in the first team squad. And Luke Shaw's come out tweeting saying it's great to have him back. Manchester Evening News they hate it when somebody else breaks news, basically. So everyone around dinner time was like, Schweinsteiger's back in the first team. They said he's actually been training with them for a week. Then Luke Shaw came out and said it's great to have him back. So obviously hasn't been training with them for a week. And then they've come out with he's only training because they want to sell him. They're like the little bitter sods who, when you're playing football at World Cup and they get kicked out, but it's their ball, they take the ball home unless they're allowed to play again. So I don't read much into it. I don't know. What I would say, Paul, I'll throw this back to you like a nice serve, is that he can't play in the Europa League. I didn't realise that. He can't play in the Europa League because he wasn't picked in the squad. I doubt he'd play against Swansea because it's a must-win game. Then you've got Arsenal. So, I don't know. I think he's back involved, and if he's back involved, surely he's good enough that, anyone with eyes, Stevie Wonder again, can say, oh, this player's better than Fellaini. So if he's training with the first team squad, that's a good first step for me, and hopefully his quality will shine through and Mourinho will be forced to pick him. Yeah,
it's a good point to make that he probably isn't going to feature anytime soon, purely for the fact that he's not done anything for 4 or 5 months or whatever it is. But a scenario that I was thinking in my head, which I would have liked to have been true, is that now again, this is a very anti-Fellaini comment, but it comes with being Fellaini, I guess. The scenario that I play in my head is that Mourinho is suddenly realising, right, it's not working with Fellaini. I need to get Carrick's a top player. I need to get him playing every game. Hang on a minute, I can't have him playing every game. He's 35. He's going to burn out. Hang on a minute, who's that guy that I banished from the squad at the beginning of the season? What's his name? That German fella. Oh yeah, Bastian Schweinsteiger. Let's bring him back in the team. Let's have those two alternating. So that's what I would like to imagine the scenario to be, but who knows?
No, I'd agree. I agree with that. I definitely do. As I said before, I mean, I think people just get lost in the fact that, because it's the great Mourinho who is the great Mourinho, or it's the great Van Gaal, or they know better than us, the fans. But from the previous call with Rorty there, the thing is, if Mourinho had spoken to fans in the summer, we would probably have 5 players less than we have now. Deadwood that have actually been proved to be Deadwood that we knew was Deadwood. But fair play for him for giving him a chance, but they've let him down again. So,
Got another question for you, actually, if that's all right. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Last week, Mourinho interview was released by Sky Sports with Mourinho, where Mourinho was talking about that he's finding life difficult, living out of a hotel. His family can't come and see him. He can't go out for a walk because of the paparazzi are there 24/7. And I was listening to TalkSport Radio that same day on the way home from work, and what they were saying on there actually boiled my blood. They were saying that he was saying these things as an excuse or laying foundations to leave the club, essentially, because he's finding it difficult. He's failing, is what they were saying, and they were saying that he was basically saying these things to sort of pave the way for his departure later on in the season by using that as an excuse. Now, what annoyed me more than that, I mean, that itself got me riled, but what annoyed me more than that is that United fans were actually ringing in TalkSport and agreeing. What do you make of it?
There is a very, very small minority of fans who I think are Jose out, but I think Alex said it last night and I agree. I think there's a number of United fans who didn't want Mourinho, who have had to go along with it, who are now any little opportunity are sort of jumping on that, and I think that's all it is. It amazes me that there are people out there, and I've seen it a lot on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and everything, people who are like doing tweets and stuff saying, if you're Jose out, you're this, that and the other. And I actually don't think anybody really is. I think it's a very small minority. I think the vast majority of United fans I speak to are very firmly behind Jose. So yeah, I'm disappointed by that, Paul, that people ring in and do that, because I think what it is a false representation, and it makes us look bad. Because I heard some other rumour yesterday about fans getting a banner to say Jose out. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I genuinely don't think, and haven't seen any evidence that it's any more than 5%, and I don't think it's even that much of the support who want him out. I don't know about you, but I really do think the massive majority are behind him, no matter what. At the moment.
I don't know if it's because the last since 5 o'clock on Saturday, I've just been completely off the internet. That result done my head in. But I've got to be honest, I've not actually seen anybody legitimately tweet out a tweet with the hashtag Jose out, which I'm glad about. It just annoyed me when I seen all that, when I heard all that on TalkSport. I thought, how can people, go down that route? And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, this is the media. It's Jose Mourinho. Of course they're going to jump down that route, aren't they? But Mourinho would have known before he signed that contract to become our manager. He would have known. He would have had it in his head already that he's going to be living out of a hotel for a while.
Yeah.
He would have known that. He would have known that there's going to be paparazzi there 24/7. All this stuff he would have known about beforehand. It can't be a surprise to him. No. So I'm confident he knows about all that. And in the interview, he was just asked the question about his living situation, and he answered it. That's as simple as it is. That's the bottom line. And everyone's just jumped on it, jumping to conclusions, making up their own stories for it. I think it's completely nothing. There's nothing in it. He will find an apartment. He's probably just being a bit picky. I'm sure he's got a team of people looking for him until something right comes up, and it will all be forgotten about. And then this time in 2 years, we're going to have a squad full of world-class players, and we're going to be lifting the Champions League. Shut up, everybody! Yeah, you know what I mean.
Mourinho wins the title in his first 2 years everywhere he goes, and I'm going to.
It won't happen this time.
I think he'll win it next year, but we'll see. I've got to ask you a question, Paul, while it's in my head. Laura King asked it. She wants to know what the email address is if you want to send an article in for the website. And I think it's a very good question, and one I would wish I'd thought of myself, because if you do want to write for the website, we're always looking for writers, and Paul's going to give you the email address now. It's that way.
The quickest and easiest way is to go to the website, go to the contact page. There's a link at the top in the menu. When you're on the contact page, there will be a form. You fill it in, put your name, your email address, and you can actually attach your file to that form. Click submit, and that will come straight through to me by email. I do respond. It might take me a while. Alternatively, if you'd rather just send it by email, it's the United Stand ET for extra time. The United Stand ET at gmail.com. But go to the website; it's much quicker.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming on, Paul. I'm sure we'll get Paul on again, but just for his voice. But thanks for coming on.
No worries, pal. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Paul. Do get involved in the podcast, but I'm going to put it up on the YouTube channel anyway, because I know some of you will just think, oh yeah, I might do that, and you never will. We're going to promote it on the YouTube channel later in the week with all the links that you can get it on iTunes and everything like that. But I just want to mention something else as well, because I realised that I've had it whizzing along the bottom there, and it wasn't meant to start there. Right, okay, this is an idea that has come from one of our United Stand regulars, and I think it's a very good idea. We are going to start this weekend with the Premier League, round 1 and 2 of Last Fan Standing. Basically, if you want to enter this, we're going to trial it out this week. What will happen is let me get it out. If you want to play it, it's a £5 entry fee. Email us at soccerboxtv@gmail.com if you want to enter it. It's going to be a trial for the first one. The prizes are going to be pretty good. What we think is the winner's going to get a United shirt of your choice, home, away or blue. That's not right. Home, away or white. The blue is the away, isn't it? But what happens is, once you're in the game, once you're in the last fan standing, we'll put you into little groups, so you've got a very good chance of winning. So we'll probably have like 20 or 30 in each group. And what happens is we'll set up a spreadsheet, we'll email you out, and then on the Saturday we want, it's only Premier League, a team that's going to win. You pick a team that's going to win. If they win on Saturday, then on the Sunday we want a team from you. So you'll send us a team for both Saturday and Sunday from the Premier League fixtures, because it's a fairly even split this week. So if you picked Man City from Saturday, because I know they're playing on Saturday, and then you picked United on Sunday, both of those win. Well, if City win, you go through to the round 2 on Sunday. If United win, you're through to round 3, which will obviously be on after the international break. However, the rub is you can't, because there's an easy way of winning this, isn't there? Oh, Man City, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, this, that and the other. Once you've used one team, that team can't be used again, and that's where it gets interesting. So you might go tactical and think, oh, there's a game on Saturday that I think Everton are going to win, so I'll go for them, and I'll keep City or a decent team back for round 3. So obviously if you lose, you're out. That's why it's called last fan standing. So I've got the proper rules for you. Probably didn't really explain it that well, but soccerboxtv@gmail.com if you want to play it. It's going to become more of our preview show for us to talk about it on there. And like I say, the prizes are going to be really good because it's going to be a £5 entry fee. So get involved with that if you want to. It'll probably be first come, first serve for the first one because we want to try and limit it down and run it through as a trial with about 30 players. And I'm certainly entering, and I know a few of the lads are as well, because I want to be the last man standing. But obviously I will be telling you what my teams are. We can't have any cheating, so get involved with that. And that concludes an hour of Goldbridge Skype. The wrong way around. I am humbled by the calls. I thought every one of them was good today. We had some laughs and we had some really good points as well. I'm glad that a lot of you have liked it. It's important that when I watch the last show and we're getting like 200 likes, it's a lot of effort. I enjoy doing it, but it is a lot of effort to get all the calls on and listen and everything like that. But ultimately, the most important thing is, obviously, I like it to be liked because the concept works. But the most important reason I want it to be liked is because it's, how many people have been on tonight? How many of you have been given a voice? And every one of you, in your own way, has been really entertaining. And that's what the United Stand was always envisaged to be. If I talk about Fellaini on my own and you dislike it, I don't care. But if you are liking this video, then that makes me feel happy, and everyone involved in the United Stand feel happy because you're liking your fellow fans' content. And we will get a real rival of another club on at some point, and we will hopefully get one of these keyboard warriors on Twitter who are going to end me or tell me how we should back Fellaini, but they won't come on. You don't have to show your face, just come on and be vocal. I'm not going to bury you or end you or anything else like that. But love the show. Please do drop a like. I think it's got legs, and the plan is we'll definitely do it again next Monday, and it's international break. The plan is to do it a lot over the international break because I know there's a lot of you calling who aren't getting on. So what we're going to do from next week is start taking a note of all the names, and we're going to run it probably 3 or 4 nights on the international break, one night after another, and get loads of you on because I think it's a really great concept. So thanks everybody who's watched, really enjoyed it. Keep spreading the word about the United Stand, liking the videos, because I think this concept's got legs to really, really take off. And you know what? There's people like Sander who we're going to have on a watch along, and he only debuted on here last week. So if you're good, it's a great ground to start getting involved. But soccerboxtv@gmail.com if you want to get involved in that. I will email you back tomorrow. I've got a bit of a busy day, but first come, first served on that. And I think it's going to, again, be a really good game. I think it's a really good concept. I didn't think of it. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everyone. Really enjoyed it. I'm now going to go and watch The Walking Dead. I'm going to get off very quickly so I don't get any spoilers. But back tomorrow with a preview show and obviously Fenerbahce watch along Thursday. But we've got loads of stuff to come up on then. Daily content on the United Stand. Thanks.